Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Armory. Today we are conducting a hard target analysis on the platforms that are defining reliability in 2025. We are not interested in safe queens or unproven prototypes. We are looking for the rifles that work when the mercury drops, when the mud is thick, and when your life or your harvest depends on a single, clean break of the trigger. We have curated a list of 7 specific rifles. The majority of these are chambered in the venerable .308 Winchester, the gold standard for North American big game. From whitetails in the thick timber of the East Coast to elk screaming across a canyon out west, this cartridge gets it done. But we are also going to take a detour into a misunderstood classic, a rifle that has served in patrol cars and ranch trucks for 50 years. Whether you are a precision hunter or a tactical traditionalist, this list covers the hardware you need to trust. We begin at the very top of the mountain with the American icon, the Winchester Model 70 Featherweight Stainless. This platform is known as the Rifleman's rifle for a reason. It continues to set the bar by which all other bolt actions are judged. The Featherweight Stainless takes that century-old lineage and updates it for the realities of modern field use. The heart of this beast is the legendary pre-64 style controlled round feed action. For those who do not understand why this matters, let me explain the mechanics. When the bolt strips a round from the magazine, a massive non-rotating claw extractor captures the rim of the cartridge immediately. It controls the round throughout the entire feed cycle, into the chamber, and during extraction. This means you can cycle this rifle while lying on your side, sprinting, or even upside down, and it will feed and eject without fail. It is a fail-safe system that push-feed action simply cannot match in high-stress environments. The trigger is Winchester's MOA system. It is engineered with zero take-up, zero creep, and zero over-travel. It breaks with the crispness of a glass rod snapping, allowing for immense confidence when taking a precision shot. Aesthetically, it is a work of art. The jeweled bolt body and the knurled bolt handle are touches of class that recall a different era of machining. It features the classic 3-position wing safety, which allows you to unload the chamber with the safety still engaged, a critical feature for safe handling in the field. The furniture is a Grade 1 walnut stock featuring the distinctive Schnabel forend, wrapping around a 22-inch free-floating stainless barrel. At $1,250, you are buying a piece of history that is rugged enough to outlast you. Coming in at number 2 is a masterpiece of Finnish engineering, the Sako 90 Finnlight. This rifle was designed specifically for the hunter who hikes hard and climbs high. The Finnlight is all about shedding ounces without sacrificing the rigid durability required for extreme accuracy. Sako understands that a mountain rifle cannot be flimsy. The stock is a high-tech composite, but they have addressed a common failure point of polymer stocks: slickness. They overlaid the grip and the forend with synthetic leather panels. This ensures that when your hands are freezing cold, wet with rain, or covered in mud, you still have a positive, tactile purchase on the weapon. Both the action and the barrel are manufactured from stainless steel to shrug off the elements. The barrel features heavy fluting. This fluting serves 2 purposes. It significantly cuts weight, making the rifle easier to carry up a scree slope, and it increases the surface area for heat dissipation. It comes standard with a 5-round magazine and a threaded muzzle with a 5/8 by 24 pitch. Whether you want to run a muzzle brake to tame the recoil or a suppressor to save your hearing, it is ready to go right out of the box. Sako also included a fully adjustable cheek piece, allowing for perfect eye alignment behind the scope, which is critical for quick target acquisition. It will set you back about $2,500, but you are paying for extreme reliability and Sako's legendary sub-MOA accuracy guarantee. Now for number 3, we are going to shift gears. We are leaving the bolt-action world to discuss a semi-automatic carbine that is misunderstood by about 90% of the shooting public, the Ruger Mini 14. The Mini 14 is not just a shrunk-down M14, although the family resemblance is deliberate. When Jim Sullivan, who also helped design the AR-15, teamed up with Bill Ruger in the late 60s, they created a unique beast. It utilizes a fixed-piston short-stroke gas system. This is a massive departure from the AR-15. Instead of dumping hot carbon and unburnt powder back into the action, the Mini keeps all that fouling forward near the gas block. The operating rod rides solidly alongside the receiver, creating a recoil impulse that is a gentle, rolling shove rather than a sharp snap. We have to address the history. The early models had pencil-thin barrels that would heat up and string shots vertically after a single magazine. They were durable, but they were not precision tools. However, around 2003, Ruger completely retooled their production line. The newer 580 series rifles feature thicker, tapered barrels and tighter casting tolerances. These modern minis are legitimate 2-inch shooters at 100 yards. Why does it matter in 2025? Because it flies under the radar. In states with restrictive laws, the Mini 14 avoids the assault weapon stigma while delivering 30 rounds of semi-automatic firepower. It runs dirty, it runs wet, and it feels like an old friend when you shoulder it. It is a rugged tool that works when you need it, bridging the gap between World War II operating principles and modern utility. Returning to the bolt-action domain, we land at number 4 with a rifle that has dragged a legendary action kicking and screaming into the modern era. The Weatherby Mark V. Weatherby took their flagship action, famous for its massive strength, and partnered with Peak 44 to create something truly special. The result is the Bastion stock. This is a genuine carbon fiber build that weighs almost nothing, just 23 ounces. It features a vertical grip and a pronounced palm swell that locks your firing hand into position, giving you absolute control over the weapon. But the innovation does not stop at the stock. Weatherby completely rethought recoil management with the HEX recoil pad. This is a 3D printed component with an internal lattice structure. Unlike solid rubber that just bounces the energy back at you, this lattice collapses on impact to soak up the kinetic energy. The bolt body is spiral fluted. This serves a dual purpose. It cuts weight and it gives dirt, grit, or ice a place to go so the action stays slick even in the worst weather conditions. Up front, you have the AccuBrake ST with 30 individually cut ports to tame the muzzle flip of the 308. With a 24-inch No. 3 contour barrel, the whole package comes in at 6.4 pounds. It is a significant investment at around $2,200, but you are paying for top-tier materials and massive innovation in a factory rifle. Number 5 brings us to the Scandinavian standard for reliability. The Tikka T3X Lite. If you want European performance without the full Sako price tag, Tikka is the answer. These rifles are renowned for having some of the smoothest factory actions on the planet. The bolt glide is so effortless it feels like it is running on ball bearings. The T3X Lite is a no-nonsense tool built for serious use. It uses stainless metalwork for all major components to resist corrosion in the field. The modular synthetic stock is tough as nails. It does not care if it gets banged around in a truck or dragged through the brush. You get a 22.4-inch barrel that squeezes every bit of ballistic performance out of the cartridge. Capacity is 3 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. It is lightweight, fast handling, and supremely accurate right out of the box. The single-stage trigger breaks like glass, requiring zero aftermarket tuning. Coming in around $1,500, it sits in that perfect middle ground of price versus premium performance. It is easily one of the most popular hunting rifles in modern history for a reason. It just works. At number 6, we have the collision of Spanish precision and American tradition. The Bergara B14 Woodsman. This is what happens when you take a high-tech barrel manufacturing process and drop it into a classic hunting profile. Bergara made their name on barrels using a highly automated process that delivers supreme consistency. Simply put, these things tend to shoot tighter groups than their price tag would suggest. The action is a dual lug setup that runs incredibly smooth. It utilizes a coned bolt nose and a sliding plate extractor. This geometry ensures that feeding rounds from the internal magazine is reliable every single time, preventing the dreaded nosedive jam. The trigger is their own curved design, breaking crisp right around 3 pounds from the factory. You are looking at a 22-inch barrel here, which is the sweet spot for velocity without making the rifle too long for a tree stand or a ground blind. It is all bedded into a nice piece of American walnut with proper checkering for grip. The best part is the value. You are looking at roughly $700 on the shelf for old-world manufacturing quality combined with modern performance. That is a serious contender. Finally, rounding out our list at number 7 is the working man's turnkey solution, the Savage Model 110. Savage is proof that you do not need unmatched aesthetics to have a rifle that performs when it counts. This package is designed for the hunter on a budget who wants to buy a rifle on Friday and hunt on Saturday. It comes straight from the factory glassed up with a Vortex Crossfire 2 3-9 by 40mm scope. It is mounted and bore-sighted before you even open the box. The core of this rifle is the famous AccuTrigger. It is user-adjustable from 2.5 pounds up to 6 pounds, and it features an integrated safety blade that makes it unbelievably safe against drop fires. You get a 20-inch sporter barrel finished in matte black carbon steel. It is short enough to be handy in thick brush, but still long enough to generate effective ballistics. It feeds from a detachable box magazine, which makes loading and unloading safely at the truck a breeze. The synthetic stock features an adjustable length of pull to fit winter coats or smaller frame shooters. The real selling point here is the value. You are getting the whole setup, rifle, scope, and mounts ready to zero for about $750. That is hard to beat for a tool that will put meat in the freezer year after year. There you have it, 7 rifles that define reliability in 2025. From the heirloom quality Winchester and Sako to the battle-hardened Mini 14 and the value-packed Savage, there is a platform here for every mission. Choose your tool, learn it inside and out, and trust it when the moment comes. Stay safe, check your zero, and we will see you on the range.